Hello and welcome to myStock Tutorials with Shane. In this video, we will be covering approvals, what approvals are and how would you set them up. So simply, approvals allow the user to view and approve stock actions that require approval before they can be placed. So this might mean that if you've got a staff member that is doing a purchase order or a stock take or a transfer or even a wastage, and you require a second level of authorization before that action can be placed. This just allows for any inconsistencies when it comes to quantities or costs or unit pricing, etc., that the approvers are not aware of and would like to potentially change or edit it or ensure that it is approved before going through to the final step. So how do we set it up? So you go to your settings, approvals, and this is where you get brought to your approval settings page. So on the left here, you will see the actions that can cater for approvals, how many staff member it is required to approve, so how many staff members it needs for that particular action, and which staff member is available to approve or has the capability of approving. So how do we set this up? You go and say, for example, my purchase orders, this staff member over here is an approver, but they are going away on leave or on vacation, and I will require an additional staff member to approve. So when I simply select the checkbox on the left of any of these stock actions, this little button over here highlights blue, and I can go and edit the settings. So the staff members that will be showing up in the edit approval settings, these are your owner of the business, your inventory admins, and your inventory managers. In a previous video, I explained that the inventory clerk does not have access or does not have approval authorization. So only the owners or the admins or the staff managers or inventory managers, have the capability of approving. So when I say that I have got this staff member who will not be available for that purchase order, I need to now select either of my admin or my manager to be able to approve. This requires, if I select two, then that means that this purchase order action will require two staff members to approve. But for this case, I only require one person to approve it. Over here on the right, you have got the two options of edit and approve. So if I only want this staff member to approve it, then I can simply select the can approve button. It'll go from red to green, as you can see over here. But I do not necessarily want them to edit any of the unit prices or the extended prices or even the quantity. I only want them to approve. So I can simply say, I'm happy with this. This allows the actual staff member to be able to do those things, such as to edit any of the unit prices or the quantity or the extended before it gets placed. I simply go close, and you'll see that that staff member has now been given the access to approve for this particular stock order. Only one is required, so therefore either the staff member or the staff member can approve. So let's take a deeper look into approvals. If I go to stock orders and I go to my purchase orders, you'll see that I have got a draft purchase order waiting. If I open this draft and I have chosen this amount of items, and this staff member decides, right, they want to go and place the purchase order, the next phase it goes into would be an awaiting approval state. So therefore that means that either these two staff members have to approve. So the staff member that doesn't necessarily have to be either of these two who placed it. They need to go into contact, or it will be waiting for these two staff members to approve. If I can go and approve over here, or if I close it over here, you will see that it is in the awaiting approval status, or I can go to the approvals page. So if I have access to approvals and I have the capability of it, This page over here will show me all the types of stock actions that potentially may need approval. As you can see, this is the one that we just created. It is a purchase order, and it requires only one approval. And these are the two approvers that can approve. So I can simply select it here, or I can go into my purchase orders and select it there. Now it says, right, me being the staff member over here, I have the access to edit. So if I hit this edit button, it will allow me to edit that particular purchase order. And as you can see, it has opened it up, and I can go into each of these items, and I can update the cost or the extended total cost or even the quantities. Once I'm happy with everything that has been changed, if it required any changing, I can go and approve. Once I'm ready to approve, this approve button will be in blue, and I am happy to approve it. I can add any notes in here if I require to, and I can select approve. You will see that it goes back to the approvals page, and you can see that that is no longer there, and it has now been placed. So it has been approved. You can see who the approver was that approved it, and it is now in the placed state. And that is approvals.